Yeah, I agree with Kaden.
Okay. Hello, guys. Thank you for joining me.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Well, this is Cat Talks. Cat Talks is Kaden, Kiera, Isilsa, Dana, and Daisy. And basically, we're just going to be conversing about what we talk about in our group chats, basically, right? Issues that we talk about, situations that we face. And yeah, we're bringing it to you two and discussing. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you? How's the weather over there? It's really foggy over here.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's getting warmer now.
Right. It's getting warmer. You're saying?
Yeah.
Over here on the other side of Canada, it's actually it is getting warmer too. It's really dusty out.
Oh, that's wild. No, how's the weather, Dana?
It's actually really, really warm today, and it was yesterday as well. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, at least it's getting warmer. Oh, so you know what I was thinking? It's crazy because we've been in this whole quarantine for a long time, right? And we took it for granted. And now that we know that there's an end date, like we're hearing positive news about the vaccine coming out, now I'm getting anxious. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to leave this quarantine yet. I think I want to quarantine for longer. All the responsibilities are creeping up.
I do. I completely understand what you're saying.
Do you guys feel that?
Now I'm just really comfortable with how things are going now. Being not that I'm an introvert, but it's kind of good to have an excuse not to be able to go to a party or whatever. Not that I had that excuse or tried to find an excuse before, but I mean, it's kind of good. It's personal. You're good with family. Like we're all cooking. You were here, Dana. We were cooking a lot, which is good.
Yeah, I completely feel that. I wouldn't call myself introverted as well, but I like to have the option to be introverted. And I felt like being in quarantine gave me a reason to be like, well, it's COVID. We can't really be out there. But now there's this pressure, like the end of, obviously I gained the quarantine 15 at the start of the quarantine, and then closer to the end of the quarantine, I'm trying to live a healthier lifestyle, whatever that entails. And just hearing that we're hearing positive news about the vaccine, which is great for us, right? But just knowing that, soon enough we're gonna be out of the quarantine, that also puts pressure on me. Like, okay, well, now it's time. I really have to get my ish together. I really have to, but I took quarantine for granted. I did not like being in quarantine. I wanted to be outside, but now I'm starting to realize the positive things that quarantine brought with it. Now that I know now that we have more positive news about the quarantine.
I mean, all these vaccines are coming out too, and they're planning on more vaccines, and they're planning on a lot quicker of vaccinating a lot of people, which is awesome. But it'll be a big difference. It'll always be different though. Like we lived through pandemic, or like we're survivors, so to say. We can tell our grandchildren that we lived through a pandemic, but it'll be different. It'll always still be in the back of the mind, though, I feel like masks and social distancing, and it'll change things. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. It's getting better.
And Kiera, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like you have been back in school, right? You're in school right now. How is that? Yeah. Do you feel like being out of quarantine is really going to change much for you per se? Or do you feel like you never really felt like you were in quarantine because you've been going to school constantly?
I never really felt that I was in quarantine.
Dope.
So Dana, how do you feel about coming out of quarantine? Are you excited or like?
No, I'm not.
Are you excited or are you like, I could totally do one more year of this? Like, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, I definitely don't want another year because I feel like the older I get, the faster time is going. Totally. So I feel like it's so freaking crazy how it's already been a year. Yeah. And even though it feels, because of spending so much time inside or whatever, it feels like I haven't really done much, but I guess we all have done a lot. Really, we've been in school, you have to work on things that you wouldn't have to work on if you were busy, so that's good, but it kind of doesn't feel like it in a way, for me at least. And I also have become pretty comfortable with like being inside and not going out, not interacting with people I don't want to like hang out with, you know what I mean? Like at parties, like Hayden said, you know, and I'm actually like, I am introverted all the time anyways. So for me, like this is what I'd rather do, but it's just to like be like, you know, have the extra like push to like get out into the world. Cause like once you do that, you like it as well as an introvert. But I mean, if you don't have that, it's super easy to like just want to stay in all the time. So obviously I have like anxiety as well of like, oh my gosh, like shit is opening back up. Like I have to get, you know, like stuff going, like safe, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Everything is gonna like open back up. Soon, hopefully. And I don't think it will be the same either. Like how Kaden said, I think that forever, I don't know, like forever I'll probably be pretty like on it with like washing hands and everything, because I now notice if like say anybody, even like family member, didn't wash their hands before like touching their own food, I'm like, oh my god, what is wrong with you? You know? So, I don't know. So that's something we'll probably like keep with us, like and social distancing, keeping your distance from strangers and all that. But yeah, how do you feel, Daisy?
I feel, well, I'm excited, obviously. I love the fact that there's a vaccine. I love the fact that we're gonna save lives. But yeah, I'm totally with you. I feel like with the quarantine brought a lot of appreciation for a lot of different things. And just like you said, the habits that we picked up, I really hope we retain that, because especially the 6 feet apart, like you should be respecting people's personal bubbles to begin with, you know. Staying 6 feet apart should not be an issue for you. So I hope we keep that with us. I love the fact that now we're realizing that we need to sanitize more. Now every time we walk out of the store, we sanitize, which we didn't do before. So I love the fact that, and our families, like we take our families. Okay, so this is a topic I actually want to bring up. So I'm just gonna bucket it for later.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm definitely, it's bittersweet for me coming out of quarantine, because I did like being able to hang out. I know school's been online, you know, everything's kind of be at your own pace. But now I feel like when the world opens back up, it's going to be 2 times faster, because we're going to be trying
you're right. Yeah.
You know, like it's good. Everybody's going to be on their itch. Like,
Everybody's eager to like get after what we all hold as well. So that's another.
Exactly. Another thing. On a whole year and almost coming on a half now, you know. So can we not plan our birthdays from last year? Can I be the same age I am? Because last year doesn't count.
Definitely feels kind of like
it flew by real fast.
Yeah, it feels like the year was lost, but not. I don't know. I guess I can only say myself. I don't feel like the year was lost, but it definitely went by so fast. But it was also so slow, you know?
Yes.
I don't know.
While we were in it.
A lot of time spent inside.
I agree. I agree. Okay, so another question I actually wanted to ask you guys was your families. Like, how is that quarantining with your families? Like, are you at the edge? Are you tipping? Are you loving it? Like, how is it going?
So definitely, I mean, I know there's a whole bunch of people in the world with small families or no families or a bunch of family. Especially during quarantine, with you have to stay in one household or a small social bubble. But I mean, I feel really good because I have a bigger family, you know, like me, my sister, my grandma, my grandpa, my uncle, my dog, and Dana when she was here when we were in quarantine. So, so that's really it's really good that we have a bunch of people. I feel like it's good for your mental health too.
And we've gotten a pool table right at the beginning, so that
there you go. That's funny. Well, a funny story about that is we weren't really much of like drinkers before. Like obviously, you know, we drink whatever, but then we got the the bar in our garage. So then we thought, oh, let's make it useful, and so we drank like quite frequently. And I was the first person to get barred from my own bar, but but what I'm getting at is it's like quarantine is good. We have family, whatever, but we had our own bar, and then it's like I felt obligated to go to the bar every weekend. Like I woke up, like, today is bar day, you know. But it's good that we kind of stopped that. But now, the bar's still there. We still have a pool table on it. Yeah. What's that?
The bar is no longer in use.
We still have a whole bunch of games in there and beer cans and pool table and whatnot. So it's still pretty good. But it was the best thing and the worst thing that happened, because it's like I felt, maybe just me, but I felt like obligated to go to my own bar and have some drinks and let loose, but it kind of got a little bit too much.
Well,
but to answer your question, for me personally, it was really good. I'm quarantined because of my family. It's a bigger family in this household, but for others, it might be a lot different. So that's kind of my opinion on that. I mean, I'm sure hers would be the same because we live in the same house, but Dana, you were here most of the time, and then you left, well, half and half roughly. Either way, you were here, and then you were in your own family bubble. So how was that for you? Because, I mean, I'm sure you have a little bit of a bigger family as well, and so how was that really?
It was good. My family's like not, I guess it's bigger, but it was good. It was like really nice spending it with your guys' family, and yeah, everybody. It's nice to have like quite a few people in the house and people to hang out with. How you explained, that was very nice. And then so that was like a few months, and then I spent a few months at my mom's, and it's her and her fiance and my sister. So there was 4 of us there for a bit. So that was also cool. And then I decided to come stay here at my dad's house for like I guess it's been a few months again since, I don't know, like maybe like 4 months, and it's just me and my dad and my brother. So I feel like it just keeps getting smaller and smaller. I don't know, but every house I've spent quarantine in has been nice.
Yeah,
I don't know, I haven't. It's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Well, you're definitely grateful every single time you get to be with family, right?
Totally, very grateful.
Yeah. And
Amazing.
I feel like being in quarantine made you really appreciative of your family, like knowing what's going on around the world. That made you take your family less for granted, right? But it can also go the opposite of way, because we hear more about people fighting with their family members just being in a small space. So definitely sometimes you do need to go out there, and you do need that like outside like border for you guys. And for me, quarantine has made me really grateful for my family, because before the quarantine I would go weeks without seeing any of them, right? Not even, because we live in the same household, but we wouldn't speak to each other for weeks. And then I'll text them like, do you guys still live here? My aunt will call me and say, do you still live here?
Right.
I seen you in a week. I would only see them on the weekends.
Honestly,
but now I see them all the time. I run into them. Like every time I go upstairs, I run into them. We talk. We actually converse. So for that, I'm very grateful. And I am very, like, I know there's a lot of people that hasn't been able to have family around them during this trying times, and it's been very trying for all of us. So for that, like, I'm very, very grateful to be able to be around family at this time.
So honestly, this actually, this made me be more in touch with like more of my family as well, because I mean, I wouldn't really, like, obviously I would see like my grandparents, siblings and whatnot, but this quarantine obviously like brought everyone together, because we were all on Zoom calls. Like, we saw each other more frequently than we were to in real life, which is really good. So I feel like it also really brought the family closer and really tied everyone in together to just to be more aware of your family, which is amazing. So that was like a big benefit from coronavirus. Not that there should be a benefit from coronavirus, but that is a big one too, is like bringing in family who I haven't really spoken to a lot to, which is really good. Yeah.
Well, definitely, there is a lot of hurt from this virus and experiencing this pandemic, but there has been a lot of things that we should be grateful for, because it's made us more mindful of a lot of things. Like we discussed earlier, it's made us pick up better habits. It's made us we don't take people as for granted. It's also kind of, we don't take breathing, like, not saying we can't breathe right now, but just being able to go outside without a mask on, we definitely took that for granted too. Being able to walk into a restaurant whenever we wanted, we took that for granted as well. So that has definitely, it's made us more appreciative of like we can go out whenever we wanted, go see our friends whenever we wanted, but not like we can't even meet up in person. We're over Zoom, obviously taking the right precautions, staying apart from each other. But yeah, that has definitely made me more grateful for friends, for family, for just everything.
Yeah, even like in like that example that I just gave with my family, like I wouldn't usually hang out with you and Dana and Kiara and hopefully Isosa whenever she shows up. But like, I mean, I'm sure I would, but like how frequent we see each other, like it really
not over Zoom, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's almost like we have to like reach out more than we would have before.
Otherwise, exactly. Like we're always checking up on each other now. Like, how's it going? How have you been?